Thank you for stopping by my channel. How are you today? Now, in light of the recent buzzwords, coronavirus, guys, this is my take on it. This is what I've learned so far, and we all want to take our part in not spreading the virus. Listen up and listen well, especially when in public. Try not to touch your face. Wash your hands for at least 20 to 30 seconds vigorously. Use pieces of tissue paper, paper towel to touch surfaces or use a glove. Use only alcohol-based hand sanitizers. And if you're making your own hand sanitizer, make sure to use 91% isopropyl rubbing alcohol or above. The coronavirus thrives in cold temperatures, so avoid cold temperatures or drinking cold drinks. Always try to keep it hot, drink hot tea, and gargle with warm salt water. And now for the long awaited baby food tutorial. For those of you who are not from the Caribbean or from Africa or other countries that carries this pumpkin, this is a pumpkin, and some people might say squash. But the pumpkins that we use in Jamaica are very similar to this one that is presented here. I'm giving you a very good look at what the pumpkin looks like. That's the bottom side of it, and that is the top where the vine was. And we in Jamaica, at some point, we didn't really have any specific bottled foods or anything for babies. So mothers would use this pumpkin to make food for babies when they were first learning to eat. And this is how it's very difficult, though, depending on the size of the pumpkin, to get it cut, but it can be done as I'm showing you there. Make sure that you use a very sharp knife, and you just want to get a grip on it, and you know, kind of rock back and forth to get it cut. So now let's see. Look how pretty that is. Oh my goodness. It's such a pretty color. Okay, that part that was exposed to the air for a while, you're gonna scrape that part before you use it. And of course, that centerpiece there with the seeds in it, you're gonna also remove that. Now, unfortunately, I forgot to turn the camera on when I was de-seeding the pumpkin. So I'm gonna show you in motion how to remove it. That's what was removed. The seeds with the little inside there that looks like a bit of strings, and that's a closer look at the pumpkin seeds. Now I'm gonna proceed to show you how to remove it. So you want to start from the top there, and in a circular motion or circular half moon motion, you want to just swipe up, and it's very easy to get rid of those seeds. Then you're gonna wash that pumpkin very well. Now, after doing that, you're gonna cut the pumpkins into smaller pieces for ease of cooking. You know, to take a little bit shorter time to cook if you cut it up, because the pumpkin tends to be very dense, very thick. So if you cut it up into smaller pieces, then it's easier to cook. Now you're gonna put on some water, let it get hot a little bit or boil up, and then you're gonna place the pumpkins in there, pumpkin pieces, sorry, in there. Now you want to add a very little salt or no salt at all, because remember, this is going to be fed to babies, and you want to make sure that you don't over salt the food when you're giving it to babies. So it's going to take, well, depending on the size and the thickness of the pumpkin, it will cook fairly easy. and you want to make sure that it cooks to that point there where you see the fork is going through it very, very easily. It's like almost like it's falling apart. And then you want to make sure that you boil the pumpkin with the skin on, because then the nutrients from that will get into the pumpkin itself, and you want the baby to get the nutrients. Okay, so then you want to use a fork and a knife to remove the skin. If it's not too hot, then you can just hold it in your hand and cut the skin away. But if it's hot, like it is here, then you just want to use a sharp knife and use the fork to kind of hold it there and remove the pieces of skin. And the reasons for removing the skin is that you know how it is with babies. They don't have any teeth yet, and it's just their gum. So this is one of their first foods, and you have to introduce them to soft foods that they can manage and chew, and that's not gonna be harsh on their stomachs. Okay, so that's why you want to just go ahead and remove the skin, and remember that the nutrients are boiled out of the skin, okay, into the pumpkin. So you just want to make sure that you don't allow any of the skins in there to be fed to the baby. Okay, very, very, very important. Then after, you're going to use a fork and mash it up. Nowadays they have potato mashers and whatnot. You can use it to mash it up, but of course we're old school, so the fork is good enough. Just make sure that you mash it very, very fine. Okay, then you're gonna add a little bit of butter. We prefer sweet cream butter. Just add a little bit to give it a little bit of a flavor, because even though they're babies, they have taste buds too. So if you make the food delicious and nice, they're gonna want to eat it. And of course, this is a vegetable that gives them good nutrients. So you want them to be able to enjoy vegetables, especially from a very early age. So when you introduce it to them, make sure that it's palatable, it tastes very good. And then you're gonna add some cow's milk, not too much to make it too watery. So you add a little bit, I'll say about 2-3 teaspoons, depending on the amount, and then you're gonna mash that in. Make sure that it gets covered in all the pumpkin there, and then after that you're gonna go ahead and add some condensed milk, about a teaspoon or two of condensed milk, to give it a little bit of a nice sweet creamy taste and texture. And make sure that when you're adding the milk, if you don't have any milk, right, then you can put a little bit of sugar or mix in the sugar with the cow's milk if you don't have any condensed milk. That's just the way my mom did it for us, and I'm showing you how she did it for us. Then you're gonna go ahead and work that spoon all over into it. Make sure that it gets as soft and creamy as ever, because of course we say we want the baby to enjoy it. And look at it, it's a nice creamy mash, and it is homemade natural foods. And I want you to share this video, give it a like, leave me a nice comment, and as usual, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and remember guys, stay away from the corona. Okay, do not go into public places or any gatherings where you know that people are gonna be, because you just might expose yourself to the coronavirus. And again, thank you for watching.